of all time.
Yeah, I don't have a Sylvester Stallone autograph. I think he charges $700, but I do have Carl
That's
Weathers, which I think is way cooler.
The only fight that would be better is if you had the Rocky 3 poster with Mr. T on it as Clubber
Clubber
Lang,
Lang.
which
Yeah,
is by
yeah,
far
yeah.
Rocky's best opponent ever. However, someday there will be a montage of me training in the snow, just like in Rocky 4.
Yes.
That is another
You know
fitness
what?
goal. The Lou Ferrigno thing was never a goal. It was just really cool. But like a goal in, my life would be to have that exact training thing filmed on me.
That's a good idea.
Right, with the music and everything. Great
Absolutely.
song. I work
Yeah,
out to the soundtrack.
And you need a 8-foot length of tree.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got that shit, man. I'm going to Russia.
Oh wait, you gotta go over.
Yeah, I'm big in Europe, man.
Snow's
I'm gonna
gotta be like
I'm gonna
3 or 4
lift
feet.
my wife and a couple people, like fat Italian uncle
Yeah,
that I have.
yeah, Paulie. When you get the black Mercedes chasing after you,
then you're in. Then I can be
you're
cool.
in. Yep, then you're in.
I got you.
Yeah, so Pip started 555 Fitness, which is a foundation to basically get firefighters working out more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we were just talking about it. I started it back in, 2013, right?
2013, yeah.
And it just took off from there. And
That's fantastic.
he's traveling around.
That's cool.
You probably passed each other in the airport a bunch of times.
I'm sure we
When you
have,
travel around. He goes to all the Comic Cons and everything.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's,
I'm jealous. I want your life.
That's where I got a lot of this stuff. So.
Freaking airport life. I could do a whole podcast on what to do and not do in the airport.
Yeah, Newark's. Well, it's okay. It's a mess.
You know-
They got so much going on over there. But I remember I was in Calgary and I pulled up to the airport. I was like, whoa. And,
Yeah.
there's not. There aren't people fighting for spaces trying to pick people up. There aren't cops trying to move traffic. Everyone's nice and orderly. And,
Newark is controlled chaos.
Yeah.
As opposed to like when you're in Charlotte, there's like 3 people, but it's so slow. I'm like, there's 3 people here. There's 300 in Newark. We all hate each other, but we do what you got to do. Here, there's 2 of you in front of me in line, and I'm like, come on, take out your ID.
Yeah,
Come on,
move
you're TSA pre. You should understand how this works at this point in life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I may just keep looking around while we're talking. Oh, dude, John Cusack, say anything? Oh,
Yeah, and then he's got 2 more rooms like this with more stuff in it.
Yeah.
It just keeps like.
I'm definitely gonna steal some pictures before I leave, man. I'm just saying, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Like my wife's best gay friend is like the Golden Girls king,
Oh, yeah.
and he lives in Florida, and like he is like super, he goes to Golden Girls parties, themed parties, and I'm like,
Wow.
I would be down with
He
that.
must have one of those decks.
Yeah.
He does
must-
not.
No?
They're hard to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said there was like 1,000 made?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you met Stan Lee. There's a win.
Oh yeah, Stan's a nut.
Oh my God, it's Shipwreck from G.I. Joe. You have
Yeah.
to be kidding me. A hand-painted Shipwreck.
A friend of mine painted.
Oh
one for
my
me,
God, dude, like.
He knows I'm a G.I. Joe nut, so.
I want to do podcasts here all the time. Can I stand Jimi Hendrix back up? He fell over.
Oh, did he? Of
I
course,
feel
yeah.
bad, man. Not Jimmy.
Yeah, that shelf's bowing a little bit. I gotta fix it.
Stand John Travolta there. What's that? No, it's Twin Peaks. Sorry.
Yeah, although there's probably a Vincent Vega one from Pulp
There's
Fiction
got to be one somewhere here. Somewhere in the collection, there better be Pulp Fiction stuff. You wouldn't be a cult fan if you didn't know everything about Pulp Fiction. There's got to be a Big Lebowski somewhere.
Yeah. All right, whenever you guys are ready.
Can we just talk about the room all day?
Yeah, right? I think a lot of people do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make reference to the movie. And there's your framing up there. So
All right. Ready to rock?
ready to rock.
All right. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to another episode of Build, Burn, Become. I'm Fred Moore, and sitting with me today is my guest. His name is Pip. He runs 555 Fitness. How about your real name? Do we want to tell anybody your real name, or is that just not even important?
I mean, you could hear it. It's not like I haven't said it before. I'm not like Cher or Prince, as some people have introduced me as, someone with one name. So, so I was born. It's the first time I've ever actually said it that way. I was born Robert Paparo.
Okay.
So Pip is just a natural progression
Right.
for everyone in my family, though. So in my family, I am Rob or Robbie, if you know me from a really long time ago. But to the emergency services world and the social media world, I'm just Pip.
Everybody calls you Pip then.
Pretty much, yeah. It's just easier. Just stuck, man.
And you started 555 Fitness back in 2013, and it's blown up to a pretty big thing now. And what happened initially that, like, how did it come about? What started? Where did the idea come from? And what did you expect from it back in the early beginning, the humble beginnings of
a little lowly Facebook page? So I didn't start it. We have to clear the air here now. It's well thought of that I started it, but I didn't. A captain from Texas started it, and his basic plan, and this is going back 5.5 years ago now. It actually we're here in April, so it's our anniversary, April 29th. He started a Facebook page, and he was very tired of that number, that cardiac-related death number, being number one year after year for leading killer of firefighters. So he decided that he was going to start putting out free programming on Facebook and putting out what we now refer to as fire porn, pictures of fire, and asking firefighters, hey, are you fit enough to do this job? At the time, I was already into fitness a lot. I was doing CrossFit pretty heavily. And I was running a CrossFit workout for a deputy chief that got killed in my department. We had a foundation, the Jimmy D Foundation, and we had a run. The run ran right past my CrossFit gym. So we were on year 2 of our charity workout, and another firefighter buddy of mine was like, hey, ask this 555 guy if he'll promote your workout. Sure. I asked him, and he did. So that was cool. I started following some of his programming, and it was cool. And I was getting into it, but being a typical guy from New Jersey, I started to complain about it. And my complaints weren't exactly that there were anything wrong with the program. I thought it was awesome, but I couldn't do the workouts. We didn't have a rower in our station. Our barbell was bent. Our plates were not bumper plates.
Right.
The kettlebells I brought in. So this is, 5.5 years ago on Facebook. There was no Facebook Messenger. So he eventually was like, hey, bro, could you call me, and stop bad-mouthing my workouts online? That's not cool. So we started talking, and as my wife describes it, that was, the beginning of our bromance.
Okay.
And that was around July. So we kept bouncing ideas off each other, how to make things better. Started talking about how to get equipment into the hands of firefighters. Why aren't firefighters getting fit? One is money. It costs a lot of money, and firefighters are notoriously cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Very cheap. No matter what, we're cheap. Let's just call it what it is. So we started talking about doing the grant equipment program, and I started saying to him, we should be putting out body weight workouts, because that's what I was doing at work, because I didn't have great equipment or stuff with foam pails or hose bales. And that developed over time. And in December, he was like, bro, why don't you just help me with this? Had a conversation with my wife, told her probably going to go nowhere. I bet it won't even be a thing in 3 months. And I said yes. And I was tasked with starting, I don't know if you've heard of Instagram.
Might have heard of it.
Might have heard of it here or there. But again, 5 years ago, Instagram was nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was this new thing. So I'm like, dude, I'll do body weight programming on Instagram. So January 1, 2014, we launched the first body weight workout in Instagram. And it was on a backdrop. I thought I was being really artistic. My buddy came over, was a photographer. We pulled my engine out of the bay. We set up everybody's shoes like they were on a call. Yeah. And so that was the backdrop, and I overlaid the workout on it. We thought we were very, cutting edge at the time. Yeah. So we started doing that on Instagram. Fast forward to today. We've given close to $50,000 worth of functional fitness equipment to fire departments. We put out 2 free workouts a day via social media, via our webpage, via a free downloadable app. And I get to do cool things like have podcasts with you in the most amazing room in New Jersey. If you're watching on YouTube and you see this cool stuff behind me, it's like a quarter of the amazing pop culture stuff here.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's kind of briefly jump the track to what we did this morning. So first of all, we're at a shared universe podcast studio, which is the
awesome
greatest thing ever if you want to be a podcaster. And then prior to this podcast, I invited you over to Critical Mass Gym where I work out to just do a workout, and you were like,
sucked.
hell yeah.
It sucked.
It did. Ken over there, he actually, he was like, okay, you guys want to come and do this? I'm going to give you something to really stink your teeth into.
It's been a while since I've done a 27-minute workout.
Yeah.
And that's what we
Yeah.
did this morning.
Yeah,
And,
I was sweating buckets.
yeah, it sucked.
But how cool was that? That's kind of like where it really all comes together. If I could do that every day, I would. If my body would let me. But hooking up with firefighters, first responders, and people from the military, and training and talking about training and health and just being as badass as we possibly can, right?
Yeah, while you're there, right?
With whatever we could do. So yeah, that was what was really cool, is that you were just like totally down with it. I'm coming. And you brought your Brute Force Sandbags.
Some sandbags. Made
Right.
up a new sandbag move today.
Yes.
We did make up a new sandbag move as well.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that I think is one of the coolest thing about 555 for me is getting invites to do things like that.
Yeah.
And I think what we do by sharing that, because obviously we're going to share the workout on social media, and what we did and how we did it. But that social media channel and things like podcast and talking about it, I think there are a lot of emergency services people, responders out there who don't understand just how much fun that could be.
Yeah.
And listen, we got, I don't know, do you have an explicit tag on your podcast? Can I say a bad word?
Yeah, you could drop
It's like
them.
we got our asses handed to us this morning, right?
Yeah.
But I love that part of it. And the cool thing about the workout we did, though, is again, you can scale it up. We could have made it way harder. I didn't have to hold that 15-pound mace, which was it 15 or 5? I could lie.
No, it was a 10 and a 15 and a 20.
Okay, so I used the 10, not the 5.
Okay.
But if you wanted to scale the mace up, that 15, my shoulders would have been shot.
Yeah.
We used 40-pound kettlebells for one move.
Right.
If you didn't have 40-pound kettlebells, we'll use the 30-pound kettlebells.
Right.
If you had more and you use more, and it's fun, and you get to do it together. So that's what I love about the functional fitness end of it, for sure. And we got our asses kicked. And then we did a cool finisher, too, which was more fun.
Oh, yeah. Outside, slamming the tire with the
Yep.
mace and everything.
Flipping a tire, slamming a tire, when you I think Ken made the equivalent to a 200-pound deadlift was
Right.
the tire we were
Yeah.
flipping.
Yeah. At the end of the workout.
At the end of the
Yeah.
workout, after
Right.
27 minutes, he's like, come on, guys,
Yeah.
have a sip of water and come outside with me. I'm going to own you even more today.
Yeah, right.
And we did mobility, too. I even forgot that. We did a great opener for mobility, which I do not do enough. So that's another big thing that has to come
Guilty
into
of that,
play.
too, yeah.
I think we all are. Everybody.
Well, this is one of the things. You have so much time in the day, and you want to get in your hour workout. So you start cutting your warm-ups short, and you start, messing around like, yeah, I'm good. So then you start doing all your heavy compound lifts, but you didn't properly warm up. You didn't properly get your mind-muscle connection going with your hip flexors and your glutes. And now
Big terms, firemen listening. I know.
and then you start deadlifting, and you're not using the right muscles, and then you wonder why your back is hurting the next day, which I was guilty of. And that's why those guys tuned me up pretty good, and they got me deadlifting again. And I'm way ahead of schedule with my goal, you know. And and we were talking about it this morning too, just the atmosphere and kind of holding each other accountable. And I think 555 Fitness really does that for so many people. You could see it on Instagram as I'm. Do you call it surfing still? I don't know if. Do you surf Instagram?
I guess you.
I don't know.
You scroll Instagram, right? Because you're swiping Instagram
right.
or scrolling.
So scrolling
double
along,
tap.
I see so many firemen who are into fitness, and then somewhere in there is 555 Fitness.
It's crazy. Like when you search hashtag 555 fitness.
Yeah.
I search it. Obviously, I search it every day.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what other people are doing, and I've made some of the best friends that I have right now through 555 Fitness. Through
How
people,
awesome is that?
Yeah, through people hashtagging 555
Right.
Fitness, and it's like, dude, this guy's really into it, or like, how did you do that? And just like today, Ken made up that sandbag move.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what did you just do? Explain to me how you did that.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, just like myself and Larry with 555 came together from Texas and New Jersey. You talk about opposites.
Yeah, sure.
At one point, he was telling me early on where he lived in Texas, and I'm like, would you just stop, bro? I'm like, there's like New Jersey and everybody else in my mind.
Yeah, right.
And he starts
Rest of the
laughing,
world.
and that's like Texas. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they're on their own.
Yeah.
But here you have these two opposite guys, but we were both passionate about fitness, the fire service, and why it's important. And you see that with that hashtag, men, women, And now even crazier, it's worldwide.
Yeah.
England, Australia, Germany. I can't even tell you. I mean, we hashtagged everywhere.
And you are well received over in those other countries, right?
Yeah, because they're in the same boat. We talked about this with Ken. The day you become a firefighter, whether you're a career volunteer or really any emergency services, police, fire, EMS, you get hired or you swear an oath, your body doesn't change.
Yeah.
We're all in the same boat as everyone else out there. We could all be healthier. With firefighting, we just choose to do a job that is very strenuous in the worst conditions whatsoever, wearing, 70 extra pounds of gear and crawling and lifting and climbing, like you name it, we do it.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to prepare your body for that. You have to prepare your mind, but you also have to prepare your body.
Yeah. It's no joke.
Yeah. And granted, it's not every minute of every day. I worked yesterday. I had a shift, and we were talking about the shift, and I'm like, we were moderately busy, but I've been up since 4:45 this morning now because I was up and I was in a smoky room moving objects to get to what was burning. That was part of it right there. You go from dead sleep to straight into work.
Yeah. Right.
So that's a big thing. So being prepared for that, and even if it's a little bit, today was maybe a little bit, well, I shouldn't say a little bit more than what I do, but a little bit more than what I normally do on a given basis. But that's good too, to switch it up. So I think that's another cool part of it is that end of it and that camaraderie.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that could definitely extend into the gym if people let it, if they feel that inspiration. Now, as 555 Fitness continued to grow, to me, staring at it from the outside, it looks like a lot of moving parts. I don't know if that's the case or not. I guess it is, judging by your reaction.
Oh yeah.
So you're not really able to handle this all by yourself, are you? Or
No,
so
not
you
at
started to develop a team, and so where did these people come from? Were they just said, "Hey, this is cool. I want to be part of this," or
the internet?
Okay.
So the joke is, I meet a lot of dudes online.
Yeah.
And sometimes I meet some chicks, right? But in reality, everyone, including myself, so aside from our founder, everyone involved with 555 Fitness started as a fan.
Right.
They started using the hashtag, or they found us. And, as we grew, it became much easier to find us. But, we have our director of programming. He's a deputy chief in North Carolina, came up to us at FDIC the first year we were out there and introduced himself as his IG handle. And I'm like, no way, it's you, man.
Yeah?
Like, I'm so excited to meet you. And he's like, no, I'm excited to meet you. And I'm like, no, you're the man. And so we struck up a friendship. And the next thing you know, he's on the team, and so we have, the team is comprised of people from Detroit Fire Department, San Diego Fire Department, Roanoke, Virginia.
That's cool.
Ohio, Texas. I'm going to leave people out, but other New Jersey people, Kentucky, everywhere.
Anybody from outside the United States?
We're working on that.
Okay.
So international stuff is very tricky.
Yeah.
It's hard enough to run a not-for-profit in the United States.
Well, they're all sleeping while you're awake.
There's
anyway.
that too. Oh my God, when you I'm in talks with someone in another country, and literally, like, the meetings are at 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or he wakes up at 3:00 in the morning to be on a time that we can work.
Right.
And there's different laws. When we started this, we had no idea how to run a not-for-profit, how to run a business. I like to make the joke that all my business knowledge came from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Watching Shark Tank and Mark Cuban own people, I'm like, if I ever have to have a business conversation, I need my numbers.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I know all that now. But so we're trying to go international. We're international on social media for sure, but we're trying to do things overseas, because what we didn't know, again, in the beginning, 2 dudes, and then a girl came very rapidly after I started Instagram. A female firefighter medic joined our team, Ava, and but the 3 of us, we're talking about lifting things up and putting them down. 5 years ago in the fire service, that was a new topic. Fast forward again, now I talk about health and wellness as this whole thing. So we're into cancer prevention.
Yeah.
We're into suicide prevention, substance abuse problems, all this that leads into leading a healthy and well lifestyle.
Right.
And for firefighters, that is paramount right now. At FDIC next week, that's going to be the top topic and everything that goes on.
And you see the connection with the audience growing, and do you see a culture change occurring?
My God, yeah. again, starting out, was going to be, social media. It'll be the young guys.
Right.
Let's get the young kids, right? Because what do we say? We both have 16 years in the fire service. So the rookie comes in now, and what's the rookie doing?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
right.
what's everybody doing at this point in the fire service?
Right.
I mean, you go to the kitchen table, and the entire room is like this, right? I don't care who you are. That's what you're doing.
That's why I just got pulled over on the way over here.
True story. I saw what happened. I was ready. So we thought we would get this young audience. And what happened was, sure, that happened, but that 40 to 50-year-old crowd, they started realizing, dude, I need fitness.
Yeah.
I want to live that long lifestyle. I want to retire or stop volunteering at a certain age or be able to volunteer longer. So we got them. And you're starting to see this culture shift. I mean, sleep deprivation?
Yeah.
5 years ago, if you told me I was sleep deprived, I'd be like, no way, man, I'm not sleep deprived.
Right.
Look what I'm drinking, everyone, right now in the afternoon because I
assume-
worked last night.
yeah,
Like
assume
there's coffee
yeah.
in there. I'm sorry, it's not. It's not.
The other stuff is later.
The other stuff is later tonight. No. And you talk about these things now, sleep deprivation. I mean, I realize like after a shift, busy or not, and especially after I got promoted, life changed a little bit from being the guy in the back seat to now the chief goes out and I listen for the phone.
Yeah.
I listen for the radio. So you're up way more. We're all sleep deprived, and you have to figure out strategies to handle that. And that's all new. But the culture's changing because everybody's talking about it.
Yes. Right.
And podcasts like yours are popping up everywhere. Pages, like I'm not gonna just start name dropping people, but there's more and more social media people talking about fitness and trying to change the culture. So I think that's a huge thing. So yeah, it's definitely happening. And I don't know if we talk some more later, I can give you some more secrets for next week that are going to be given away at FDIC, but with fire service companies saying it's time for a change, which I think is amazing. That they're on board,
And another thing on that note is what seems to be happening with your insurance companies, right? That are basically, paying, there's a lot of money out there.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out how to bring the costs in. So I saw a graphic pop up. Within one fiscal year, they saved $6.3 million by developing a health and wellness program.
Yep.
That's just in 1 year, in a couple of departments. I think it was Boston, Washington, D.C.
So Boston works with O2X Human Performance,
Right.
Who's a partner of 555, a great ally in this battle. And, they're going about it in a much different way, a much more strategic way.
Yes, right.
But that's how this has to happen.
Yeah.
Because as firefighters, listen, we put out fires, right? That's our job. That's what we do. But we have bosses. And then our bosses answer to bosses, and they answer to taxpayers.
Right.
So the taxpayers always want to see the break, right? And they want to see savings. So if you look at ways we can save, fire apparatus is not getting cheaper.
Nope.
The safety equipment we have to wear is not getting cheaper. Our salaries are not going down. But if we can keep our employees healthier
Yeah.
and safer through things like O2X Human Performance or 555 Fitness, whatever you want to use, that's going to be a cost savings.
Sure.
And what does that do for us as the guys? Listen, I would much rather know we have great medical care, so I can't talk anything bad about that, but that my department is looking to keep me healthier.
Yep.
And
Changes your whole mindset.
Right? Yeah, you know that they have your back.
Right.
Because we see, cancer presumptive cancer laws. We see what's happening. We're so close to New York City with the 9/11 cancer acts. We're involved in that. New Jersey firefighters responded that day. Your department is across the river.
Right, yeah.
So when you see departments trying to be proactive and saying each year we're going to get you a cancer screening and they're saving that, it's a win for us, health and wellness wise. It's a savings for them. So I think it's great. And in New Jersey, there's another program, the Gift for Captain Bushio physical.
Yeah, definitely.
I just did it last year.
Yeah.
And it's a full comprehensive physical that not only do every firefighters, police, EMTs, paramedics in New Jersey get for free, but our family members can go for free.
Yeah.
And it's a great cardiac screening. There's definitely other screenings you can get, but that's just for cardiac.
Right.
And it's amazing what they can tell you about your
Yeah,
heart.
there's a guy, he's retired now from my department, but he went there, and he was a jogger. And he went there, and they discovered something right there, sent him to the hospital. He had a blockage.
It's amazing. And they never would have found it.
They never would have found it, and he would have been jogging, and eventually
or worse, jogging. Think about what we do at the firehouse.
Yeah.
It's the best stress test ever.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, your
Yeah.
heart rate goes from, resting 60 to 80 beats a minute to, I don't care who you are, 90 to 100 when the alarm comes in.
Yeah, easily.
Right?
Yeah.
And
And then
then
when you're humping hose,
Yeah.
forget about it. Because, I mean, I do a lot of bike riding. I do a lot of cardio. I know when my heart rate's over 150.
Yep.
It's not pleasant.
No.
And that's what I'm feeling when I'm in
Yeah.
gear, humping hose, yanking something around a corner or, whatever.
Everything.
That's a lot of stress.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
your
lot of
stress test.
Yeah.
You just got the best stress test ever. But the problem is that we don't necessarily go right down at that moment.
No.
And that's the adrenaline end of it. And what you see with firefighters, and listen, I'm not a doctor. Only went to a few months of college. Let's say I was a paramedic, so I could probably get a degree in something or another through my credits from being a paramedic. But let's be smart here. Our heart rate goes up, and we are not conditioned. Now our heart rate needs to come back down. And that's why we get all these heart attacks after the fire, because your heart doesn't know what to do. Your heart doesn't know why you just spiked it and redlined it when you're not ready to redline it. And, 2-3 hours after the fire, we find a firefighter going home, or we find him in bed having a heart attack because your heart just can't handle it. And that's where, again, that health and wellness, we can keep guys alive by giving ourselves 30 minutes. 20, 30 minutes a day. 30 minutes 3 times a week. You can find time to do stuff.
Right. And then what you've come up with 555 and brute force and the sandbags and stuff makes it you take another, not only do you say, hey, 20 or 30 minutes out of your day, but you're also saying, here's the equipment.
Yeah.
And it's simple, basic, and you've come up with a lot of different ways for guys to use the sandbags and girls to use the sandbags and get their fitness in anywhere, anytime.
Yep. It's simple. It's the simplest things ever. And people are like, oh my God, you don't even, the sandbags are great, but even just body weight wise, 15 minutes of body weight workout, you could be owned easily.
Yeah.
For, again, emergency service responders, the sandbag is an unstable load odd object. So it's just like what we deal with. A ladder is always unstable. Even when you're on the balance point, that thing is still going this way and this way while you're moving it. We just talked about today, setting up an unstable walking path and carrying sandbags because that's like getting a ladder to the back of the building. I know where you work is the same where I work, where, that one ladder job is what we call our ladder D. Get a pike pole or get a New York hook, get a ladder and get to the back of the building and tell me what's happening. That's your job right now.
Right.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
But they're going to encounter uneven concrete, dirt, garbage cans, dogs, fences, people. You pretty much name it, you're going to have it in that little alleyway.
Yeah.
And so with a sandbag, you're almost preparing yourself for that. And it's a very safe way to work out because, when I teach sandbag stuff, I say it all the time. Do a barbell clean and miss. Well, then you're going to be at the dentist.
Right.
Do a sandbag clean and miss. Well, you just shake it off and move on to the next one.
Hope nobody was looking.
That's it. Yeah. Hope nobody sees you eat the sandbag. If you watch videos of me, I've eaten a lot of sandbags in my life. Same thing with if you're using dumbbells. Drop a dumbbell on your foot, a 50-pound dumbbell. It's Dr. Summeroff.
Right.
50-pound sand. Just keep on moving, man. You didn't even feel it happen.
Yeah.
So it's a safer way for us to work out. It's easy. It's portable. There's a lot of good benefits to it for sure.
Now, there's some departments that I'm finding out they don't even allow like a gym or anything.
Nothing.
So if I worked in one of those places, I would do something sneaky, like I'd bring a sandbag in, like when later on when
the bosses leave.
Yeah, I'd go find a quiet spot and I would use this there. And worst case scenario, if somebody came and said, "What are you doing?" I'm lifting a sandbag. They'd probably go, "Oh, that's no big deal."
Yeah.
Because they don't see the metal plates, the weights. You're not squatting with the bar on your back. So it'll just
There's
kinda
no
go under the
mirrors.
radar.
There's no mirrors. Don't put mirrors there.
Yeah, don't put any mirrors and don't have your phone set up with your
no
your
quarter-gallon jug of water with your Instagram set up over there.
None of that.
It's probably not going to work out well for you.
Right.
No, but you see a lot of fire departments around the country that have those rules. There's no working out. It's too dangerous.
Yeah.
The insurance company won't insurance, and I'm like,
Yeah.
we run into a burning building.
Right,
Like, it's the most dangerous. I think deep sea crab fishermen still got us because I don't want to do that job either. But
Yeah, the deadliest job. Right?
I'm out on that. It's cold. It's wet. It's not fun.
Yeah.
The ocean
and the crabs bite.
crabs bite too.
Right.
You got that. But we're in this dangerous job, and you're like, we can't work out. We can't make ourselves healthier, even with all these stats.
Yeah.
I mean, you can prove every stat, but a lot of guys with that end of it, well, what they do is they take hose bundles and they do stairs with their hose bundles.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's just training.
Right.
You know, like a bottle breathe down. Like I think a bottle breathe down is a great drill to, you know, do a drag, do some stairs, do a sledge to a tire, and it's just like work. It's 3 things we may
Yes.
have to do on work, and you're on air.
Right.
And then, you know, I'm sure you've sucked down the bottle before. When you get to that end, you know nothing's going to happen to you because you're just training. You're not in a fire, but you start to get those thoughts in your mind.
Sure.
Like when I remember the first time I ever did it. So for people who aren't firefighters who are listening, when our air bottle goes low, first we get an alarm. I think that gives us 15 minutes of air, which is rough estimate. But you'll have an alarm and you'll start to vibrate. And that continues until your air runs out. And you kind of thought the first time you were doing it that when that vibrating stops and that alarm stops, you have no more breaths. But you actually have like maybe 10 if you can control your breathing. So it's a way to train yourself to that.
Right.
Because if you think about it, the day that really happens, those are your last breaths.
Yes.
So you have to control them.
Yeah.
So it's a great stress tool, too, to use to prepare yourself. God forbid that ever happened to you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then just getting more acquainted with your equipment.
Yep.
I mean, just seeing the volume of work you're doing. And then how long does your air actually last when you do that work? And then if you actually want to get OCD about it, you could write that down.
Yeah.
And then you could keep track. And as your cardio gets better, you could see that time change. And you go, oh, okay, I'm actually becoming more fit. And I'm
Going to be better
air.
at my job, conserving my breathing.
Right.
Because that's again one of those things. You know, you're totally encapsulated. You're going into a fire and you're breathing quick.
Yeah.
And you have to sit there and say like, I have to slow down my breathing. You
Yeah.
know, a few years ago, I was either newly promoted or just about to get promoted, but I was in the acting position and we found the victim. And it was one of those like, there he is. And when we rolled him over, he took a breath and opened his eyes. And I'm like, holy, like, this is it. And like, I had to think for a second, like, before I make my radio transmission, let's be calm and cool. So like, nice deep breath. Ladder A to command, urgent. You know what I mean? Like I had to do that because I was hopped up on everything.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
There's the guy. Like this is it.
Yeah.
You know, and we got him out and he lived. But like you have to control that. Fitness helps me do that. You know, because we still had to carry him down to a flight or like a inside
A
flight.
limp
Human.
is very heavy.
Large,
Right, of course.
limp, naked human,
Yeah,
down, wet, not wet yet, but down a flight of stairs with other firefighters coming up to
Yeah,
get
right.
to go put the fire out.
Right.
Like, get out of the way, we're coming. Not a safe stairwell
Right.
at all. And then when we got outside, of course, it was like, you know, the 10 stairs to the EMS stretcher
Right.
with all of them running at you, and you're like, get away, we're just coming. Like, at this point, but you know, you needed that. And then when I tell that story, it didn't just end with, you know, putting him on the EMS stretcher. We still had 4 more rooms and another floor to go back in and search. You know, like it wasn't like, oh, hey, high fives all around. We
Right,
saved the guy. Like, no, back to work, man. Let's go.
Yeah.
You know, the engine was in there. We got up in a crawl space in the attic, you know, small, but you still have to search it. You don't know who could be up there.
Yep.
So your job continues. And it was an easy fire. Not that they're ever easy, but, you know, a quick kind of easy job for us. You know, what you do, what we call a bread and butter type fire. But I was proud that myself and the guy I was with, we weren't even halfway through our bottle. You know, when it was time to come out and be like, you know, like, because it wasn't big. Like it was fire, a couple rooms off and things like that. But, you know, enough to say like we didn't, my vibra alert never went off. Even wore the same bottle in for overhaul.
Right.
But that's, again, fitness. You know, like you have to do something.
Yeah. And now, you know, talking about the equipment, over the past, I'm going to say 10 years, if I'm correct, after that tragedy that happened in New York, Black Friday. I'm not saying that right. Black Sunday. Black Sunday. So everybody was issued bailout rope. So that adds about 7 pounds, right? And now recently, our department just turned over to larger capacity air bottles. So
You just turned over your air bottle company, didn't you? Or no, were you always on MSA?
yeah.
Oh, you've always been?
Always,
Okay.
yeah.
I just saw a picture of
we
new
were looking at Scott, but we ended up with MSA.
new MSA G1s.
Yes, the G1s are 10 pounds heavier. 10 pounds heavier. So if you want to add that to the bag that we just put on, you know.
And 17 pounds to you.
Right. So, you know, you could complain about it. That's not going to change anything.
You're still wearing the MSA
The
G1.
benefits are there. You could bail out a window, and you have more air now. So how can you knock that?
Did you go from 30 to 45-minute bottles?
to 5,500 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we went to 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
So we've had 45s for a while.
Yeah, right. We're finally caught up with everybody else.
Listen, the grass is not greener.
No, it's heavier. It is.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is. But you know, not to sound callous or anything like that, but if you're complaining about it, I'm sure you have 10 pounds to lose.
Yeah.
So how about just lose the 10 pounds in there, and that makes up the 10 pounds you just put on.
Or get stronger.
Yeah,
As
get
I like to say,
stronger,
just keep
right.
getting stronger. You know,
Just-
what shirt do I have on here? The one on the back of this T-shirt says "Stronger is better."
Yeah,
Plain and simple. Stronger
sure
is always better. We
Yeah.
can always be better if we're stronger.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool though, because MSA just happens to be part of what's going to go on next week
Oh,
at
really?
FDIC with 555. Yeah, we have a cool. So we're giving away our fitness grant. The application for this period's already been closed.
Right.
So 4:15 on Thursday at FDIC, we're going to give away our fitness grant, and then we have an awesome announcement with our friends from MSA. And then that night, MSA has a block party, and it's a big block party. They do a lot of fun stuff. There's a lot of fine beverages drunk at their block
Yeah,
party
yeah.
because it is a party, but they are allowing us to hold a Stein holding competition.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's see who's the strongest. We're going to run heats. There's a cool prize for each heat. And basically, I mean, any firefighter that requires just strength.
Right.
Hold your arm out.
It's a full Stein.
Full
And
Stein.
you hold it up for whoever
Whoever holds it up the longest. Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear 2 minutes is a big time. We have one of my good buddies, William Hegadoos,
Yeah.
is on Truck 7, the FDNY. He's the bravest strongman on Instagram. He's going to be running the show full on lederhosen.
Oh,
He's going full on.
Of course, of
Clark
course.
Griswold
Yeah.
lederhosen has been promised to be
Yeah.
at FDIC, and I think he's going to set the ultimate time to beat. And I think if you beat him, you may get a really cool prize.
Yeah.
But I
Has he been training for it?
He
Like,
tra-
like with the Stein, with the right beverage and everything. Has he?
well, he's been to Germany. I mean,
Okay.
I'm
Nice.
gonna say he's done some training for it specifically. Maybe not. You know, he does strongman training.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of holds like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if he's upping his game for FDIC, but we probably could have followed him like a Rocky montage of
Yeah,
what he's
right.
doing, but we were bad at that. So again, 555 is just dumb firefighters who like to work out. So this whole social media thing, and people are like, "You're doing it so cool on social media, dude." We're throwing darts at a wall,
That's
man.
awesome.
And some of them stick and some miss. So
Yeah.
damn, we probably should have been building that up for like 3 weeks now.
Right.
I may text them and be like, "Yo, get some training videos. Let's get them out there."
Well, things happen so fast.
Yeah.
It's just
It's gonna change like that. But it's cool
Right.
that MSA believes in 555.
Yeah.
I just got to go and sit on a health and wellness panel for them with a district chief from Boston, with one of their MSA like innovators, like one of their tech guys, talking about what they can do as a company, and Chief Bobby Halton from Fire Engineering Magazine. So we sat on an hour-long health and wellness panel.
Really?
And they believe that they make a great piece of equipment, but they care more about you guys wearing them.
Right.
And the same thing, like 10 extra pounds. Well, how do we equate 10 extra pounds? Well, lose 10 extra pounds or get heavier. The same with the bailout system. It's 7 pounds, but that 7 pounds may save your life one day.
Yes. Right.
Totally worth 7 pounds.
Right, exactly.
know?
Yeah, especially when you could make some smaller adjustments in your lifestyle
Yeah.
to accommodate that 7 pounds.
You could probably figure something out. There's
Yeah.
got to be something out there that you
Yeah.
could eliminate.
And it's not get a haircut because we know that's not gonna help.
It could for some folks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I shave the sides. So
Oh, yeah.
I say aerodynamic and svelte if I
You
shave the
s-
sides.
Yeah, you probably save about like 8
But
ounces,
something
or
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, 8 ounces is a big deal. I mean,
Right.
I got to get as much weight as I can off. I like when people are like, "Dude, a strong gust of wind's gonna blow you over," and I'm like, "Yeah, it could happen, man. I'll just get back up.
Yeah.
Like I'm limber. I'm limber. I can roll." But you can do things, and people have asked for nutritional advice from 555 since
Yeah.
day one,
Right.
because that is legitimately half the battle.
Sure, yeah, I would say almost more than half, but
It could
yeah.
be. It could be
Yeah.
more than half. Depending on who you are. And when I talk about it, I talk about simple changes.
Yeah.
Soda,
Yeah, get rid of the
Right?
junk food first.
junk food, and soda alone. Like I'll have maybe like a can of Coke or Pepsi if I'm on a flight. Just 'cause I'm believe it or not, I fly a lot. I'm a very nervous flyer still.
yeah?
Oh my god, I hate.
Well, then don't drink soda. It has caffeine in it.
Yeah, but it calms. That makes me okay. Like that little bit of sugar and caffeine is like cools my nerves. Trust me,
Okay.
I could have something else on there that'll calm
That's
my
true.
nerves. This is
That's
probably a
true.
little better than that,
Yeah.
right? But you eliminate that from your life. You healthier choices. When we talk with EMS people, like you have to pack your meal.
Yeah.
You're stuck in that bus for 12 hours. How easy is it? I mean, there's a Popeyes. I saw the Popeyes across the street. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, it's Popeyes. I like Popeyes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going there, but if I was on the ambulance and I just ran 4 calls and there's Popeyes and I'm hungry,
You're right.
I'm going to Popeyes.
Yeah, it's missing the meals is the problem.
Yep.
Because it really, like, your blood sugar level just drops, and you almost will settle for the next thing that comes your way. If it's Popeyes, it's Popeyes. And even your attitude toward food changes when you're that hungry.
Oh my
right?
God, yeah.
All of a sudden, there's a lot of more acceptable things.
Everything works.
Yeah, but when you just did like a little meal an hour ago, like maybe a little protein and some vegetables, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more
good.
careful.
You're going to an EM because I was a paramedic for 6 years. I worked on an ambulance for a lot longer than 6 years. But you're going to a call and I'm eating my carrot sticks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like give me some carrot sticks or
Yeah.
give me. I got a protein bar in my sweatshirt right now. There's a protein bar in my pocket.
something stashed away like a squirrel.
Yeah, that's it. You got to have it. When you go.
And at the firehouse, I make oatmeal and egg whites, and then I put oatmeal on the side in a little snap container and a whey shake. And then I go and I hide that on the rig.
Yep.
And just in case we catch a
You're
bell
there.
or something, I got some. So one of the chiefs saw that one time. He goes, "What is that?" I go, "It's my oatmeal." And he's like, "Why are you putting it in the rig?" And I'm like, "So I have it for."
I may be
later?"
hungry.
And he's like, "That's weird." And he like walks away, and I'm like, "Ugh." He thinks I'm weird because I hide oatmeal on the fire.
Trust me, bro. He thinks you're weird for other reasons. Probably that just adds to it.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right,
yeah.
because you're that. I just talked about it. I teach a class here in New Jersey for the Division of Fire Safety about health and wellness and fitness, and I was like, you guys are amongst your people now.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does everybody in this class think of us? And guys like, we're the oddballs. And I'm like, well, now you're with the oddballs. It's okay. Like, I got no problems with somebody rolling out with some, oatmeal in the back of the rig. Like, here I am, like, running out with my little snacks. Here's my snack bag. Like, it's just as important because you couldn't be out. I think we're pretty fortunate where we are in Jersey because, we're compact in a city. Like you guys have way more engines and ladders than we do. But I know people, they run a district that's 90 square miles.
Yeah, like down in Virginia or something.
Or even out west, Colorado. Like a fire district is 90 square miles. And these guys are telling me stories. My buddy Thad is out there, and he's like, we'll go to an MVA, and a helicopter will have landed, taken the patients by themselves and left, and we just roll up to the cars. Like, they'll call you on the radio and be like, yeah, we're gone. It's just the cars.
No kidding.
And like, because they're driving, 40 miles. And he's like, and then it's 40 miles back.
Yeah.
So he's like, I get hungry on that 2-hour call that really amounted to absolutely nothing. But he's like, you gotta have your bag, man. You gotta have your food packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God, 40 miles. I was like, we go 3.2. And I'm like, I spent too much time in the seat. I'm antsy in the seat. Like, I'm like, you ride 40 miles in a fire engine? Like, that's gotta be horrible.
going like 30 miles an hour or whatever.
Yeah, the governor's on and you're just driving.
Right.
You're driving, or like you get an engine that has like some kind of safety alert going off. I'm like, 40 miles of that thing binging.
Yeah, right.
I'm ripping the speaker. I'm finding it under the headliner and ripping it out. So you hear things like that. So food is very important, and feeding yourself. Then you get the opposite end of it. Oh, I'm not eating today. Or I'm just going to eat one big meal at dinner. I'm like, it don't work that way, man. You got to have breakfast. You got to have a little lunch. You got to have some snacks in between.
Yeah, the basics. Your 3 meals and then some healthy snacks in between.
Is a great way to go. And
everybody thinks too that they got to go like, well, I hear I should be eating 6 meals a day and doing that.
Oh,
like,
jeez.
That's like advanced.
Yeah.
You don't need that right now. And the other thing too is, I want to lose weight, so I don't care about building muscle. I just want to lose fat, so I'm going to do cardio. And it's like, here we go.
Doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. The right way is to do strength training because you're going to lose your muscle before you lose your fat. And you're going to feel worse because you're not eating right and you're beating yourself up doing the cardio. So, yeah, everybody wants to go for that magic.
I'm on keto. I'm on paleo. I'm on no carb. I'm on high carb. I'm on Atkins. Like I can name.
I love carbs, man. They keep me going, and
It's good, man.
it seems like the more carbs I eat, the more lean
better
I can
you
get,
are.
because
Yeah.
I think I could work out more. That's why. I don't know, but
Nutrition is very individualized. You know what I mean? So there's broad strokes you can take. Like eating clean. Eliminating a lot of sugars. Eliminating processed foods. But the best advice I give to people, at least that I feel, is you got to hook up with somebody that's going to do what's right for you.
right.
Whether that be counting macros, whether that be going keto, whether That may be eating everything in the world, like cutting and bulking.
Right.
There's a reason you do that. If it depends on what you want.
Yeah, I always say hire a nutrition coach. Again, now tell a fireman to do that. They don't want to spend that kind of money. But I've heard of guys spend $300, $400 on a meal shake plan.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's like you're going to spend that much, but you're not going to hire a coach that's going to teach you how to eat real food.
When you're up at 3 o'clock in the morning and on the TV, you see an infomercial, you may buy something. Like maybe,
that's
maybe
true.
I've been guilty of that in my life, like a few times. Maybe
yeah.
I bought 8-minute abs or the shake weight. Maybe
The shake weight.
maybe I bought the shake weight one time. Maybe once.
Do you still have it?
No, it was a joke.
right.
It was a good joke, but no, it disappeared. But you see things like that, and then. Another big thing with firefighters, and we talked about this with your last meal, portion control.
Mm-hmm.
Like get a good first plate because you don't know when your next meal's coming, but get a second plate. It probably shouldn't be as big as your first plate.
Right.
Like you should probably like half that down a little bit. And then, so I've been through 555, because I'll say we because it's all of us, but a lot of it's been directed at me because I'm the guy everybody equates with it. Have been accused of some pretty vicious things in the fire service, like wanting to take guys' jobs away with fitness standards, or wanting to eliminate the volunteer fire service because how can we make a volunteer work out? And I was like, we make them go to Fire One. Anyways, trying to keep you healthy and safe. The worst thing anyone ever said about me was that I wanted to eliminate ice cream from the firehouse.
Is this for real?
This is for real. Oh, for real. Like for reals on social media. Like don't read the comments is the easiest thing to say. But like this dude like went off. And like I was deep down hurt. Like you could ask my wife. I've been this fired up Italian from New Jersey about a few things.
Yeah.
That was one of them. Because I like ice cream.
Sure.
Right? Like we have ice cream at the firehouse.
Yep.
But again, it's portion control. We use coffee mugs. And put your ice cream in the coffee mug.
Yeah, you could fit a lot of ice cream in a coffee.
Well, you can,
with
and
the
then
compression method.
And then
it's like packed like concrete in there. It's got about half a container in there.
Typical firefighters. These guys find out that I'm like coffee mug with your ice cream. Blah blah blah. What appears in the collection of coffee mugs you have in the firehouse from everybody else's house, but like the biggest. Cappuccino bowl with a coffee handle on it, and it's like Pip's ice cream mug, written on it, like, because it's like, here you go, buddy, this is your coffee mug. But it's portion control. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a very simple thing. But again, with ice cream, I don't eat ice cream every night of the week. I don't even eat it every night at the firehouse.
Right.
I ate it last night. Double dunker. A double dunker was good, man.
Sounds good.
It was good. But again, a coffee mug.
Right.
If I had a bowl, I would keep double dunking. Just keep that spoon going, man.
It's hard.
It's very hard, but that was good. And I ate it. And guess what? After I finished eating it, I was like, that was really good. Yeah. And I'm like, I know there's more in there, right? But you have to use that little bit of self-control.
It's kind of tough to go to the celery sticks after that.
Yeah, it is kind of tough to go to the celery sticks. So, but
just go to bed and
go to. So I did go to bed, and then we woke up for a call.
Yeah. And
then I'm like, I'm still hungry, man.
Now that's I'm glad you mentioned it. That is an issue, and that's always an issue with me. I mean, when you're home and you're just a little hungry when you go to bed, you fall asleep. Yep. You could fight through the night, but at the firehouse. Especially if you got to carry the heavy fan up to the 5th floor by the time
you burn some calories.
You're hungry.
Yeah.
And you don't feel, like I said earlier, your brain starts thinking different.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to cook a piece of chicken right now.
It's not happening.
I ate that stuff today.
Yeah.
I see the chocolate stuff over there. And you know what? I need something quick. And you know what? I deserve it. I just went up 5 foot.
You're a hero. You're a hero, bro.
Right,
You're a hero.
Right.
Hashtag,
so it
I'm a
used
hero.
to be, my rule was, I'll eat ice cream in the firehouse if we get a fire. Then one day it became, well,
2-story walk up.
Well, it was
now it's I put my pack on. I put my 10 extra pound pack on.
Right. You start changing that. The bar shifts.
The bar goes
lower.
down. I know the story, bro. I've heard it 1,000 times. Yep.
Yeah. So it's tough, but I like to actually save my cheat meals for when I'm with my family. I got a daughter. She wants ice cream. I am not gonna sit there and eat celery while she's eating ice cream.
Not at all.
Because she's gonna be mad too.
But
like,
remember,
why don't you eat ice cream, Dad?
But there's the flip side of that too. I mean, dude, we worked out hard today.
Yes.
It's not my everyday. It's the same with my kids. Like my kids want to go out for pizza. We're going out for pizza. Like we live in New Jersey. It's the best pizza everywhere.
Right.
Right. I'm having pizza.
Yeah.
Even what did my kids do the other day? Where did we go? Oh, we ended up at Panera, but I said we could go to Chick-fil-A because they helped me with a bunch of yard work. I'll get a chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
It's just that it's not my everyday.
Yeah.
You know, and you were even saying, like, the latest craze the other day on the news, because every firehouse has the news on in the morning. I think eggs were bad again on the news 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah,
Eggs were bad.
Yeah, they came in. They were like, "Hey, you can't eat eggs anymore."
Yeah, eggs are bad. Yeah, right. Same thing. Like, and literally, I was literally making it, and my chief walked in, and he's like, "Eggs are bad. Eggs are bad this week." And I'm like, "Eggs are bad. Well, there's 8 of them here, and I'm gonna eat them like I do every morning. Let me know when they're not bad, and probably next week, eggs won't be bad anymore."
That's exactly what's gonna happen.
You know, like but you know that like that processed stuff is always gonna be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that's always gonna be not good.
Right. Try to avoid that. And
Yeah, and that's the easiest things we can do is do things like that. So it's these small changes.
Yeah.
But you see it in the fire service. I mean, even more change, because I think that's how we got onto this tangent, was change. But smoking.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 16 years ago, more than half the guys on my shift smoked. Hell, I smoked a cigarette here and there because everybody else was doing it.
Right.
Now, I'm very proud to say my shift on my department, 0 guys smoke.
No kidding.
My shift. Cigarettes. You know, the
Yeah.
occasional cigar.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, every now and again have a cigar, no big deal. But yeah, on my shift, 0 guys smoke. And on the majority of the shifts, I mean, it's a handful by like one hand. I don't even think any shifts have that many guys that smoke anymore,
Right.
as opposed to being more than half the shift.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just my phone's blowing up over here all of a sudden. Popular.
Yeah.
But
You can answer if you
nah, we're not. I could have taken the one call was from Creston from Fire Wipes that we were talking about before.
Yeah, and put them on speakerphone.
Even that though, but with Fire Wipes, you know, all these companies, you know,
Yeah.
who would have thought you would be taking a wipe
Yeah.
and wiping yourself down after a fire?
Right. Your neck, your
Yeah,
face,
and your
everything.
ears, and you look at it and you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, how did this happen? You know, so the change is happening, and I think people like you are a big part of it. You know, starting up a new podcast, you know, and we can talk about it and hit different people.
Right.
And you may have a different angle. You know, even like with Ken. I mean, I've never worked out with maces before.
Yeah,
as plural of mace would be maces. Dude, that was no joke.
No,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it was very different. And I am feeling some stuff in my lats now
Yeah.
and in my hips
Yeah.
because we were doing twists. You'll see the videos of me, and there was a marked difference between right and left side.
Yes, right. Yeah, and I'm discovering that I'm just getting into mace and learning all the moves and everything. It's sort of meditative. You got to think about where that handle's going next and what you're going to do next. I am lucky because I found something cool to do like that. And over there at that gym at Critical Mass and Ken, there's really nobody else in the area who's actually doing that. Like,
Yeah.
you could go up to Lodi, which is an hour from down here. You know, and there's and I'm actually going to take a ride up there one of these days. They do it a little different, so I just want to experience it. But there's really nobody else around that's doing that.
It's not a big I mean, it's a big thing, but it's not, you know, in the Globo gym.
Yeah, right,
You know, you're
right. I
not seeing a
don't think-
wall of maces.
I don't think you'll ever see it because some manager is going to be like, "No, not safe. You're swinging a weapon of war, and it's going to hit somebody." in the head."
Somebody's gonna be walking, not paying attention, and just get whacked in the. I mean, kettlebells are just getting
Yes.
finally introduced into mainstream gyms because
Right.
people were scared they were gonna lose them and go through their glass mirror, which
Right.
can happen with anything.
And then Globo gyms realized all the CrossFit gyms have all the people going to them, so they said we better get we better get kettlebells, and we need the AstroTurf.
AstroTurf,
and
the
prowlers,
prowlers,
sleds.
and
So,
bumper plates,
yeah.
and now sandbags.
Right.
Which, hey, Brute Force Sandbags. If anybody wants them, hey, I highly suggest buying them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that change in fitness, and I think too in the fire service we see that too because the old opinion of fitness was the bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
oh, this
yes,
guy, like
yes.
that. And that's what fitness was for a long time.
Right.
Now it's the tactical athlete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's and when you look at, when people say like the top 8 things to be an athlete, we don't get any of them.
Right.
Healthy diet, sleep 10 hours a night, consistent workouts,
Recovery.
Yeah. What's recovery? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like we'll never get that.
Yeah.
But they're starting to see that change and the ability to say, these are job specific tasks that we can make you better at. I can guarantee someone who can deadlift is better at picking up a ladder or picking up a Hurst tool. Someone who does push presses or strict presses is better at working overhead with a saw.
Yep.
And those are things we put our people through on the regular.
Right.
I mean, that mace alone, when you turned that mace and held it out here, there's no direct correlation to a fire service move, but my shoulders were like, "Ooh, I can
yeah.
feel it." Like,
Yeah.
you know.
And then the core and everything too.
Yeah, and then your core is a whole different world
Yeah.
of bracing that we don't even think about. When I teach both fire and EMS, but more on the EMS side, you know, when you get your EMT, lifting and moving is I think a 45-minute lecture
Right.
of lifting and moving. But when you think about EMS, what do we do the most of in
Yeah.
EMS?
Yeah.
Lift and move. Every
In the
patient.
most awkward frigging position
exactly
ever.
Yep. And
Unbelievable. Just the weight and picking somebody up off the middle of a bed while you're leaning over. You can't square up correctly or
no,
nothing.
there's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing that will prepare you for that. So why not work on your lifts outside of it?
Yeah.
So at least your core and your body is ready to brace.
Right.
You know, you talk about like oh my God, branched chain amino acids is in my mind right now, and it's not BCAAs that I want to talk about. I want to talk about just bracing your whole core. You know what I mean? Like how everything is connected. You know, so when you deadlift or back squat with appropriate form, you're ready to go. You know, even talking to a patient in EMS, they're usually on the ground.
Right.
So I'm down in a lunge.
Yeah.
You know, or
Yeah.
I could be in a full squat and just talking to somebody and not even know that I'm in a squat because today Ken made me squat, made me deadlift, and then made me do these crazy single arm kettlebell thrusters, and then made me do this super crazy like row in a squat position with 2 kettlebells.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, my
gorilla.
Yeah, the gorilla
Yeah.
gorilla rows. Or
Yeah.
I'm like, my glutes are on fire
Yeah,
right now.
right.
But you're preparing for that day where you may be stuck in that position.
Yeah.
You know, you have to make a hallway or you have to drag somebody out that way. So doing different fitness moves prepares you for that. And lifting and moving is huge with us. I mean, even grip strength. We talked about that today with
Yep.
the sandbags. I mean, think about a Reeves or worse when you get somebody on that sheet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
like, I'm going to roll up the sheet.
Yeah,
Make it
that's
really
my
tight.
handle.
This is my handle right here.
Right.
It's a sheet. It's
Yeah.
a bed sheet.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, those people that were moving on that bed sheet, the tinsel fibers, when whoever made those,
Yeah, they weren't considering.
there was no
Right.
no weight limit maxed
Right.
out on that.
Right.
And here you are holding that.
Yeah.
You know, if that thing rips, you're going right with it, or
Yeah.
you're going to twist it.
Right.
And we see shoulders, knees, and backs.
Yep.
And EMS, I mean, back injuries. I can't even tell you how many people I know in EMS with bad backs.
Yeah, I was just looking it up recently. It is the numbers up there.
Mhm.
You know, and with police too, they're hurting their backs. You know.
Yeah.
It's one of the number one things in the knees.
Yeah.
Knees.
That's why police departments are now going from a belt, like a gun belt, whatever you would call that, you know,
Yeah.
tactical
The
belt.
the bat belt.
The bat belt, yeah,
Yeah.
the policeman bat belt with all
Right.
the cool cop stuff.
Right.
Like, I don't know what it is. Sorry, cops out there. I do watch a lot of live PD, but they don't talk about the bat belt. But now they wear the vest
Yeah.
because it's a better position for them to be in, where the weight is sitting on their chest
Sure, right.
and not leaning on their hips,
Yeah.
and they can move and they can, you know, do more cop stuff.
Right.
And they look tactical.
Yes,
right. So
definitely.
we know all the cops just want to look cool.
They get more ladies like that.
Yeah. Did the guy that pulled you over? Did he have a tactical vest on? Or
No, he was chilling right
Oh,
there.
he was just regular
But
in his-
you know, he was a young guy. He looked like he was ready for like a good workout, you know. And I was like, bro, seriously, we just got done workout. It was awesome, tactical athlete program. Right down, you want to come? And he's like, look, just go.
The dude is pulled over and he dropped 555 Fitness. Like talking to this dude, like maybe he'll know who Pip is, and like I can get out of this ticket now even
That was
easier.
the first thing I dropped. I mean, I didn't even tell him I was a fireman until after that didn't work.
First time ever 555 has been dropped to try and get out of a ticket.
Right.
So kudos to you, bro. I'll give you
know?
that one. First time ever. First
You know,
time for everything.
Whatever's in the arsenal, I'm just throwing it. I'm gonna make it work.
If you get pulled over, you're like, I was just doing a 555 Fitness workout. I'm a little jacked up, man. I was trying to see if anybody saw me do it on social media. I'm so sorry.
He's like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know any of
you
this
were
stuff.
looking at your phone, and I'm pulling you over for that.
Welcome to Jersey.
Yeah.
This is what you get in Jersey.
Yeah, all good fun though.
Yeah,
so,
man.
look, man, it was great having you here. It's
awesome to be here,
We
dude.
could keep going with this.
Yeah, this can continue. Luckily, we're local.
Yeah,
We're planning more workouts together.
right.
Because it seems like Ken was ready to go with some more stuff to do for local folks. So if you are local, follow my social media, the podcast social media, and we'll see what we can put out there because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. No. So it's 555 Fitness on Instagram, right?
So on
Is there an
Instagram,
underscore there?
nope. on Instagram, no, we were so first. We didn't need an underscore.
Yeah, there
you know
you
what
go.
I mean? Like we were before.
Boom.
Nobody even knew what underscore was
Yeah.
on Instagram. We were so early onto that game. No, so it's 555 Fitness on Instagram and Facebook. We are on Twitter, but we don't really interact much because none of us can figure Twitter out.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
know.
not my
I
game,
forgot
man.
about it.
You can find us at 555fitness.org. There's workout programs. You can learn about our grant program. It's pulled up on the screen behind me now, so you can see me in one of my firehouses there working out. We also have an app. So there's so pop culture. Go back real quick. The picture up there of Thanos that you just pulled up. Did you see him? That was for a Quick Attack prize pack winner. And we reposted that from our buddies at Firewipes.
Right.
And if you keep scrolling to the comments, hold on. There he is.
Josh
Brolin
right
threw
there.
us a whole bunch of flexing biceps. And
I think he
little,
could have thrown you one more.
one more in there.
Come on,
There's a whole
Josh.
bunch in there, but like, how awesome is Josh
Yeah.
Brolin, the man himself,
Yeah.
commenting on our Instagram?
Yeah, he's the real deal.
Yeah,
I
it's no
love
joke.
his movies.
Yeah, no joke. And he was he played Eric Marsh in the Hot Shots 19
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Great. Amanda is a great friend of mine. The Eric Marsh Foundation is a great partner of 555s because we know nothing about wildland firefighting.
Right.
She and her friends have taught me things, and I was like, a brush fire for us is like, a water can and some mulch. Like,
maybe use a garden hose.
maybe,
from
yeah,
the guy's house.
yeah. The guy's house. You actually
We
tell the
want to
guy.
stretch our own line.
You tell the guy, like, keep spraying the garden hose on it, man. We're good. We'll watch you. We're here. Although we just had a huge brush fire in South Jersey. But anyway, so that was cool on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can download our free app. If you go on the App Store, it's 555 Fitness WAD. Every day with that, you get 2 free workouts. And not only do you get the description of the movements, but you get a video of someone doing the movement.
Yeah,
So if
that's
you didn't know
really
what a thruster was, you could see that.
Yeah, I would recommend anybody looking to break into this, they're new or whatever, that's a good place to start with the app.
It's great. I mean, it's been one of the greatest tools we've had
Yeah.
for about the past, I don't even know, 3 years we've had the app now running. So it's probably due for a cool update, but I have to find someone to do the cool update. Maybe if any of my people are listening and want to volunteer, they can volunteer to do
Send Pip a direct message. Tell him you get right on it.
And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at 555pip.
555 Pip.
Yeah, so that's me directly. So you see me and my crazy travel life and my crazy kids and the garage gym. And,
Yeah, and I actually got in touch with you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Direct message. So I guess like if anybody has anything big they want to discuss with you or whatever,
For sure.
that's the way to go about it, right?
555 works too. You can direct message us. We are as friendly as we can be.
Yeah.
We respond to every message we can in due time because we are, today the social media coordinator is working. So,
And what about Brute Force Sandbags? If anybody's interested in getting a sandbag, is there any special instructions you have for them? Especially if they're a first responder?
So if they're a first responder, again, you can reach out to Brute Force Direct. You can reach out to me direct. That email address is really easy too. It's pip@bruteforcetraining.com if your department is looking for training or sandbags. Also, if you go on to bruteforcetraining.com, we have a whole first responder page dedicated to it. So there's a form that you can fill out. I answer all the forms with any questions. We offer a basic first responder discount. And then if you're looking to do a bulk purchase, I can help you out with that as well. There's also a Brute Force training app. We have 4 pay programs for police, fire. We have one called the Alpha program, which is like brute force training on steroids. That is 30 days of really hardcore workouts.
Really?
So if you think you're an alpha and you want to throw down some sand, get that one. Yeah. We also have a basic program, which is, basic. It's garage gym basics. But anyone can do any one of those. So it's another way to find Brute Force and follow us on social. It's the same thing on Instagram. We're highlighting people using Brute Force equipment around the world. And you see police officers, firefighters, moms, professional athletes. In our vlog this week, I think this week it's coming up soon, there are some folks we're friends with out in the Denver area. They are into archery. And we just did a
saw
vlog.
that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, they're doing the sandbag and then they're firing
exactly.
an arrow.
Like, think about that. So do a minute of sandbag cleans and now fire an arrow. Like,
love it.
you're going to wear the apple on your head at that point? Because I'm not. Because that person's hands are like, oh.
Yeah.
But, it's just cool stuff. So you can find us all there too.
All right, that's awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah, and a shout out to Critical Mass Gym in Tinton Falls. You could follow them on Instagram. Look up Critical Mass NJ. We are training over there today, and Ken Potus, who is a trainer there, is
The devil.
Yeah,
He's the devil.
Yeah, he is very cognizant of what first responders need for their fitness. He's been talking to me a lot, and I've been telling him about like being tired, from a shift, and he knows how to augment the program. So look those guys up. And if you want to get into some local fitness here at the Jersey Shore, and again, thank you to A Shared Universe for this awesome place to do podcasts at.
Coolest place
You
ever.
can book your own podcast here and just crush all day long. And Ming is a good guy. He will help you with whatever you need. So thank you for listening. This was episode number 13, Lucky 13.
Whoa, look at that, man. Sweet.
How do you like that?
I like it.
Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Sweet.
Bye. Awesome, bro.